Hi, friends! I just watched the latest episode, and I have to be honest, I am so angry. I am shaking. The cruelty on screen is worse than we thought. This is not a man revising a story. This is a man trying to erase it. He is rewriting family history in real time, and the mask is slipping. There is a smug smile where an apology should be, a staged romance where accountability should live. What we see next is a performance, and it is covering poison. Boxes on the move, flexing for the camera. Awkward flirting that feels forced, not tender. It is uncomfortable, and it matters, because it sells a lie. A great love story presented as the prize for breaking a 30-year family. He calls it battle buddies, not lovers. The same man who took 10 days for a honeymoon is now asking for sympathy. That is not happiness. That is a campaign. A smiling front, right beside the rage underneath. The performance says he won. The facts say he lost control. He lost wives. He lost kids. He lost respect. All that remains is a staged love and a growing bitterness. And when bitterness leads, the past gets burned to justify the present. Tonight, it's the dance lesson episode. Kody and Robyn walk into a Flagstaff restaurant pretending to be shy, pretending they've never danced together before. But the internet already proved that lie. A local caught them dancing in public back in 2022. So this whole learning to dance story is theater. And Robyn plays the embarrassed wife while Kody tries to sell intimacy for the cameras. He's giddy, flailing his arms, moving like he's performing for applause. She stands stiff, lips tight, her laughter hollow. He says she's complaining too much. She says she just wants to be equal. But it's clear, she's not mocking the steps, she's mocking the man. Every time he reaches for her, her eyes dart to the camera. She is over it. She is trapped in a love story that now embarrasses her. Kody brags about emotional intimacy, but on screen, it looks like emotional avoidance. He fills every silence so she can't speak. He jokes, deflects, forces charm where connection should be. And she just wants to disappear. The camera doesn't lie. His performance of passion exposes her disgust. Her disdain is the truth slipping through the cracks of his script. Retention. Robyn's face tells the truth Kody won't say. When Robyn first entered the family, she played the part of the perfect wife. Gentle voice, polished hair, always ready to listen. Kody's adoration for her was immediate, and she wore it like a crown. He called her his soulmate. She called him her protector. The other wives called it what it was, favoritism. And Robyn didn't hide how much she loved being chosen. Back then, affection wasn't embarrassing. It was her power. She kissed him in front of Christine, brushed his arm during group talks, leaned in close during confessionals. The message was clear. She was the one who still wanted him. That attention was her identity. And for years, she built herself around Kody's validation. Every word she spoke about marriage came back to him. Every tear she cried came with a reason that made him the hero. But that script is falling apart. Because this season, the same woman who once begged for connection now flinches when he moves too close. The same woman who once wept about the family not being affectionate now looks irritated when he tries to hold her hand. Robyn doesn't even bother to hide her grimace. She looks at Kody like she's seeing what the other wives saw all along. That all of his charm, all of his energy is performance, volume without substance. When she says she's shy, it isn't real shyness. It's retreat. It's exhaustion. She's not embarrassed by the dance itself. She's embarrassed by the man beside her, because she knows that everything he's saying is a show. He's narrating their intimacy like a salesman pitching a product. He can't just enjoy a moment. He has to declare it, sell it, defend it, brag about it. It's like watching him try to convince himself that someone still wants to be near him. And maybe, for the first time, Robyn doesn't. Her quiet looks aren't about submission, they're about disconnection. The energy between them has turned. It's not soft or romantic anymore. It's managerial. She's managing him, managing the cameras, managing her discomfort. Her smile is PR now, not love. Every awe and awkward laugh reads like survival. It's striking when you remember how she used to weaponize emotion. When Christine left, Robyn wept on camera, saying she didn't understand how someone could destroy their family like that. But this season, she barely pretends to care. She's drained. Her makeup lighter, her voice flat, her words smaller. The woman who once wore tears like jewelry now avoids eye contact and mumbles through her lines. It's not just sadness, it's regret, because being the favorite doesn't feel like winning anymore. It feels like babysitting. She thought she wanted monogamy. She got it. Now she's alone with the same man who drove everyone else away. And she's realizing that maybe they weren't the problem. Maybe he was. The lie about never going dancing is just the latest prop in a marriage built on pretending. Pretending to be the last love story standing. Pretending to be the normal couple while the others gave up. But the cracks are visible now. He's desperate for applause. She's desperate to leave the room. You can almost feel her trying to rewrite her own narrative mid-scene. Trying to look supportive. Trying not to roll her eyes when he calls them battle buddies. Trying to keep the marriage alive by shrinking smaller than his ego. But you can't make chemistry out of control. And Robyn looks like a woman realizing that love built on hierarchy eventually collapses. When she says she just wants to be equal, that's not about the dance steps. That's about her entire marriage. And Kody's face in that moment, tight jaw, forced laugh, shows he knows it too. He doesn't want a partner. He wants an audience. He wants someone to absorb his monologues and call it intimacy. But Robyn isn't playing that role well anymore. She's tired, exposed, and publicly cornered. Her silence speaks more truth than his whole confessional. Every time he insists their bond is strong, the camera cuts to her empty expression. It's editing with purpose. The producers know what we see. They're not helping him hide anymore. They're letting the footage tell the truth. The irony is that for years, Robyn was the one defending him from that truth. Now, the camera she once used as a shield is catching every blink, every sigh, every disgusted glance. And she can't edit her eyes. You can't fake desire when the world already knows the lie. They walk onto the dance floor like two people trying to remember how to be a couple. The music is soft, but the tension is louder. Kody grins wide for the camera, chest puffed, voice too big for the room. He's narrating every move like a coach trying to prove he still knows the game. He reaches for Robyn's hand and she hesitates for a beat too long. That hesitation says more than any confessional ever could. He spins her clumsily. He laughs at himself, but she doesn't. Her smile is thin. Her eyes dart to the instructor, to the camera, anywhere but his face. He pulls her closer and she stiffens. Her shoulders don't move with him. Her body language says she's counting the seconds until it's over. It's awkward, intimate, and cold. All at once. He says she complains too much. She laughs, but it's not real laughter. It's the kind you give to keep peace. Then he throws in, "You don't want to lead, do you?" A joke, but not really. That's the problem. Every comment is a reminder that her opinion isn't welcome unless it flatters him. And the moment she tells the truth, that she just wants to be equal, his face shifts. The smile cracks. His tone hardens. It's small, but you can see it. Control is slipping, and he hates it. She tries to explain that dancing with him feels like he's moving around her, not with her. She says it's embarrassing, that he makes her the pole he dances around. The words hang in the air. He looks irritated. He tries to make it playful again, to spin it back into charm, but it's too late. Her embarrassment is real. The room feels different now. You can feel the weight of all the years she's spent pretending to enjoy being his accessory. Kody can't stand being criticized. Not by his wives. Not by anyone. So he takes it back to his comfort zone, mockery. He calls her too sensitive. He talks louder. He jokes more. He keeps the focus on himself because silence would make him face the truth. And the truth is that Robyn isn't fighting him. She's checking out. She's done arguing. She's done managing his moods. Her disengagement is louder than any argument. The irony is almost cruel. This was supposed to be their connection scene, a romantic night to show the world how in sync they are. Instead, it shows how far apart they've drifted. He's performing intimacy. She's enduring it. His ego dances while her spirit sits down. The camera cuts to confessionals, and his words sound like a man trying to rewrite what we just saw. He talks about being battle buddies, about emotional intimacy, about working as a team, but his eyes are defensive. And Robyn's confessional right after feels like quiet rebellion. She admits she's not comfortable with his exuberance, that it's just not her style. You can tell she's choosing her words carefully. She doesn't want to embarrass him more, but she also can't lie convincingly anymore. You can see the pattern repeating. Every wife reaches this point eventually. The moment where trying to please him becomes humiliating. The moment where silence feels safer than truth. Christine hit it years ago. Janelle hit it when she packed her RV. And now, Here it is again. On the dance floor with Robyn, under the bright lights, surrounded by witnesses. When he pulls her close one last time, her body leans away. He smiles anyway, trying to mask the rejection. But you can't dance through contempt. You can't hide disdain in plain sight forever. For all the talk of connection, the only real bond left between them is obligation. And even that is cracking. Robyn doesn't storm off. She doesn't yell. She just goes quiet. Her silence is louder than any fight. She's embarrassed by the dance, by him, by the image she's trapped in. And Kody? He doesn't even see it. He's still talking, still explaining, still believing that volume can fix what pride destroyed. The dance ends, but the distance between them doesn't. He laughs again. She doesn't. And when they step off the floor, they aren't closer. They're strangers playing old roles in a show they no longer believe in. Later, the cameras follow them out of the dance hall, and the silence between them feels like static. Robyn walks ahead. Kody lingers behind, still talking to production, still narrating their evening like it went well. He says they're learning to connect again. He says she's just shy. But her face tells the truth he won't admit. She's not shy. She's shut down. When the scene cuts to confessionals, he's wearing that same smirk we've seen for years. The one that hides defensiveness behind fake confidence. He says he and Robyn are rebuilding intimacy and that he's proud of her for trying. It's supposed to sound loving, but it sounds like a man talking about a project, not a partner. Every word is about effort, performance, teamwork. Nothing is about love. Then it cuts to Robyn. Her tone is soft but distant. She says she's not comfortable being the center of attention, that she doesn't like people watching them dance. But her eyes look away from the camera. She isn't protecting herself from viewers. She's protecting herself from him. Because every time she shows discomfort, Kody turns it into a joke or a lecture. He never just listens. He never just lets her feel what she feels. This pattern isn't new. It's the same one that broke Christine. The same one that made Janelle pack up her things and leave. The same one that Mary endured until there was nothing left to endure. Kody's version of connection only works if no one disagrees. And when they do, he calls it complaining. He calls it betrayal. He calls it disloyalty. Now, Robyn's living in that same cycle, only without anyone left to blame but him. You can almost see the realization cross her face mid-conversation. That she fought for this. That she defended this man. That she told everyone she was his piece when really she's just his last audience. And the applause has stopped. She barely wears makeup now. Her expressions are weary, her smile gone. There's no competition left. No other wives to perform against. And without that competition, the sparkle that once defined her disappears. It's as if the role she played, Kody's dream wife, no longer exists because there's no one to prove it to. And without that act, what's left is the truth. Robyn looks bored, lonely, resentful. Meanwhile, Kody tries to spin monogamy as a redemption arc. He says he's a monogamist now, like the title itself earns him sympathy. He tells the cameras he's tamed, that he's learning, that Robyn is his person. But the more he talks, the less it sounds like gratitude, and the more it sounds like confinement. Like a man trying to convince himself he's happy because admitting failure would be unbearable. The producers know exactly what they're doing. They intercut his grand declarations of emotional intimacy with her blank stares. They show her sighing as he keeps talking. They show her face when he isn't looking. Tight lips, heavy eyes, silent regret. They've stopped protecting him. They're showing the story exactly as it is. A marriage that looks more like PR than partnership. Robyn doesn't argue anymore. She just listens, nods, and waits for him to stop. When he calls her his battle buddy, she barely reacts. When he jokes about being tamed, she stares into the middle distance, detached. There's no joy, no humor, no spark. Only obligation. Only the quiet acceptance that this is her choice. And her cage. For years, she said she wanted unity, that she believed in family, that she wished everyone could just love Kody the way she did. Now, you can tell she doesn't even believe those words anymore. The unity is gone. The love feels transactional. The marriage she defended is starting to look exactly like the ones she pitied. And deep down, she knows it. The cliffhanger lands not in a fight, but in her silence. Kody talks about connection, but she's already left the conversation. Her eyes glaze over as he keeps trying to perform intimacy for the camera. And when he laughs to fill the silence, she doesn't join him. She just looks away, her face blank, her body language screaming what she can't say out loud. This isn't the victory he imagined. It's the same loneliness he created, only now he's the last one left to face it. Robyn once called their connection sacred. She said Kody made her feel safe, seen, protected. But this season, that promise looks hollow. The woman who once cried when he walked in a room now looks exhausted just sitting beside him. She barely speaks. Her voice has gone thin, her energy gone gray. It's not just fatigue, it's surrender. The emotional core of this moment isn't about dancing or shyness. It's about a woman realizing she's living the same story she used to judge. Robyn used to believe that she was special. She said her relationship with Kody was built on emotional intimacy, that their marriage worked because she communicated and respected him in ways the other wives didn't. But what we're seeing now is a mirror image of the past. Kody talks. Robyn nods. He leads. She shrinks. The same pattern, only now there's no one left to deflect it onto. When he says she complains too much, she forces a laugh that sounds brittle. When he asks if she wants to lead, she says she just wants to be equal. That one word, equal, hangs in the air like a confession, because she knows he doesn't want equal. He wants adoration. He wants control disguised as connection. And she's run out of energy to fake it. For years, Robyn's tears were her currency. They softened him when he raged at the others. They made her the sympathetic one, the victim, the loyal wife. But those tears don't come now. There's nothing left to weaponize. She's learning what the other wives learned the hard way. You can't cry your way out of being dismissed. You can't love someone enough to make them listen. It's strange to watch her quiet disgust grow in real time. She doesn't need to yell. She doesn't even need to roll her eyes. Her silence is heavy, the kind of silence that feels like an ending. Every time Kody starts another speech about loyalty or teamwork, her expression barely moves. You can see the exact second she stops believing in the fairy tale she helped build. This isn't the woman who begged Christine to think of the family. This isn't the woman who said, I would do anything to keep Kody's love. That woman lived in denial. This one lives in fatigue. She looks like she's grieving something, but not the family. She's grieving her own illusion. And maybe that's why she's not fighting him, because she's finally seeing him clearly. The interruptions, the arrogance, the performative affection, it's all the same. She just isn't dazzled by it anymore. He hasn't changed. Her perception has. When the camera lingers on her face after one of his monologues, it's painful to watch. Her eyes are glossy, but not from tears. It's the look of someone trapped in a script she no longer believes in. A woman realizing she's not the exception, she's the sequel. The new wife living the old story, and the irony burns through the screen. Kody keeps declaring that he's found peace with Robyn. He says they're stronger than ever. But if this is strength, it's built on silence. If this is peace, it's the peace of someone who gave up speaking because it doesn't matter anymore. She's lost the sparkle that once made her untouchable in his eyes. The makeup is lighter, the hair undone, the laughter forced. She doesn't even try to charm him anymore. And he doesn't know how to reach her without an audience watching. Their dynamic only ever worked with cameras, with conflict, with contrast. Now, with no other wives to play against, it's just them. And the emptiness between them fills every frame. The emotional intimacy he brags about feels like an echo. The more he says the words, the less real they sound. Because intimacy isn't announced, it's felt. And you can't force connection from someone who's quietly stopped trying. By the time the dinner scene fades out, the tone has shifted completely. Kody still insists they're happy. Robyn just stares. She's not angry anymore. She's just done pretending. The marriage still stands on paper. But emotionally, it's already over. The love story that began as defiance has curdled into indifference, and Kody doesn't even realize the moment she stopped reaching back. The next morning, the house is quiet. No music, no laughter, just the sound of a man still trying to narrate a victory that no one believes in. Kody sits on the couch, talking about love like it's a prize he earned. He says he and Robyn work through things, that they don't give up easily. But the words feel hollow. He isn't convincing anyone, not even himself. Robyn sits beside him, folded in on herself. Her hands clasped tight, her eyes heavy. She nods at the right moments, but never looks at him. There's no warmth between them anymore, only maintenance. Every sentence he speaks is about himself, his efforts, his pain, his sacrifices. And she doesn't even pretend to comfort him. She just listens, waiting for him to finish. This is what happily ever after looks like when the truth sets in. The performance that began as a love story now reads like a hostage tape. He keeps talking about emotional intimacy. She keeps showing us emotional distance. He still thinks he's the hero, the man who fought for love after betrayal. But she's not the adoring wife in his story anymore. She's the mirror that reflects what's left. When Robyn finally speaks, her voice is soft, almost detached. She says she's trying to stay hopeful, that every marriage has ups and downs. But the tone isn't hope, it's resignation. She's telling herself what she used to tell everyone else, that things will get better, that he's misunderstood, that if she just stays patient, he'll come back to the man she believed in. But even she doesn't believe it anymore. The editing doesn't protect her this time. The camera lingers on her silence, her forced smile, her blinking back emotions she won't name. For years, she was Kody's safe place. Now, he looks unsafe to her, not physically, but emotionally. He's unpredictable, erratic, quick to anger, desperate for validation. And she's trapped in the very loyalty she used to weaponize against the others. What makes it painful isn't the fight. It's the emptiness. There's no explosion, no dramatic walkout, just two people sitting together because leaving would mean admitting defeat. The spark is gone. The trust is gone. All that's left is habit. She looks like someone who's already emotionally moved out, still wearing the ring because it's easier than removing it on camera. And in that silence, the open wound throbs. This isn't the fairy tale ending she sold us. It's the aftertaste of control. It's the price of choosing a man who only ever loved mirrors. Kody's ego burns so hot that even Robyn can't hide from the heat anymore. She's melting under it. The disdain she used to mask with affection now lives plain on her face. And every time he forces a smile, she looks away. By the time the episode closes, they're back in the kitchen, side by side but miles apart. He tries to tease her into laughing. She doesn't take the bait. He gives the camera another speech about perseverance and unity. And she, staring into space, looks like a woman wondering how long she has to keep pretending. The performance is over. The mask has slipped for good. The love story they sold us has rotted from the inside out. And the saddest part is that they both know it, but only one of them is still pretending it's love. Tell me in the comments, who crossed the line first? Was it Kody's control or Robyn's silence that killed the truth? Can trust ever return when every moment is an act? Subscribe if you're following this unraveling, because this story isn't over. Next week, the money talk begins, and so does the real fallout.